The attitude of gratitude is one of the keys to success for a simple reason that if you place the good next to the bad and you place the right next to the wrong, then you get a chance to see life in its true perspective. There is an ancient hymn that says, "Count your blessings, name them one by one." And I think that rings very true when it comes to success. One of the things we know about successful people is the fact that you're going to have obstacles, challenges, and setbacks. You're going to have good times and you're going to have lean times, like my father used to say. But one thing that is consistent in the lives of successful people is an attitude of gratitude. Now, what is gratitude? Well, for many people, it somewhat varies. But gratitude is simply having an inner sense of peace and thankfulness for what you have, for what you've had, and for what you know you will have in the future. In other words, you're grateful for the past, you're grateful for the present, and you're grateful for the future that you hope to receive and achieve. And so, in an interesting way, if you're going to start this success journey, you need to be really aware of the importance of being grateful, living a lifestyle, developing a habitual way of being grateful all the time. Not when things are good, but all the time. I find that it's really interesting that some people can be grateful during, good times and when things are going well. But I find it really interesting as well that there are some who have a unique ability to be grateful and stay grateful even when things are bad. And here is what I find puzzling about that experience. Normally we are drawn to perhaps whatever we fear the most or what we want the most. And the negative emotion of fear in many cases is much more powerful than the emotion of excitement and joy and happiness. We tend to magnify fear. And so usually when things are not going right, it's very, very easy for our focus to go towards what we don't have. And the more we focus on what we don't have, the more we magnify it to the point whereby we overlook what we do have and what we have already had. And so if you want to be successful, if you want to continue to remain successful, but also if you want to share your success, one of the things you have to understand is that there is a key called gratitude. And it's a very powerful key for success. It helps you start shifting your mindsets from one of expectation and anticipation to one of celebration and thankfulness, being content. Not for everything, but just being content in the present and saying, I've had a lot from life and I'm grateful for it. We live in a world that I believe is abundant. The universe is abundant. You and I were destined and we've been given this life to have and to enjoy at the highest possible level. In other words, we're meant to live this life the abundant way. So lack and poverty is more of an abnormal. Joy and happiness and peace and wealth and success is our birthright. However, due to our experiences and due to our decisions and due to the actions we take, sometimes we find that we move away from what is meant to be the natural state of our well-being and life to what is abnormal. Now, gratitude is the transportation system that gets you from the island of lack to where you want to be. And the reason is simple. When you're grateful, you cannot be fearful at the same time. You remember this, that there are certain laws that govern the way life works. You cannot think positive and negative at the same time. You must have one thought. Likewise, when you're thinking in the mindset of being grateful, you cannot be thinking fear. You cannot be worried about what you don't have. You cannot be in pain at the same time when you're truly in the spirit of gratitude. And that's the word there, in the spirit of gratitude. And so what gratitude does is it draws you closer to the source of all abundance. And think about this. If you have a piece of plant in a desert, far away from a body of water, that plant is likely to do less well and to flourish less than a piece of plant that is perhaps positioned a little bit closer to a body of water. And so gratitude draws us closer to the source of all goodness, of all greatness, of all success, of all happiness, and of all prosperity. So you and I need to develop what I call the success key of gratitude. We wake up every day and we start the day with gratitude. Gratitude for our family, friends, for our business, for our health, perhaps for our emotional state. Just being thankful for everything that you have. And here is what I like about gratitude. It takes no effort. All it requires is focus. It requires emotional focus. Because to really be grateful, you have to be emotionally attached to that which you're grateful for. If you put this in an interesting way, and if you have kids, or perhaps you have worked with, or you perhaps have young people around you, it's very natural that if you give a young child a gift or something, that in their excitement, they take what you've given them and they run away. They go and enjoy it. And for those of them who have not been taught the discipline of gratitude, they don't see the relevance. So you have to teach gratitude. It's not something that you're born with. It's a habit you develop through practice and repetition. And the more you emphasize the importance of gratitude, the more it becomes a lifestyle. Now, you and I would agree that if you've had anyone in your life, family, business, whatever that might be, social gatherings, that whenever you come across someone who is very thankful, someone who is very appreciative of what you've done, there's something in you that wants to do more. It's a natural thing. We want to express a lot more when we find that we are being recognized or being acknowledged for what we've done. The same thing applies to you and I. If you want to be successful, you've got to give gratitude to life. For what you already have, to the little success you've created. But interestingly, you've got to learn the 3 parts to the gratitude process that I want to share with you before I close. Number 1, you've got to be thankful for what you have. That's easy. You've had it already. So you can look at your life and say, I'm healthy, I'm happy, I'm well. I want more success, but I have had some success in my life already, and I'm grateful for it. That's the first. You've got to be grateful for what you have. Number 2, you've got to be grateful and thankful for what you hope to receive. Now, this is where the law of expectation kicks in. Many people are aware of the law of attraction when it comes to creating success. That if you focus on a thought or an idea, and you attract that which you are in harmony with, in frequency and vibration with. But there is a law that precedes the law of attraction. For the law of attraction to work, there's a more fundamental and important law that supersedes attraction, and that is the law of expectation. When you're grateful for what you hope to receive, and you emotionalize that feeling, you activate the law of expectation. And guess what? By thought, what you want is created. So by being grateful for what you hope for in the future, you create it by thought. By feeling, you start to attract it towards you. By expectation, it comes quicker towards you. By action, you receive it. So the law of attraction, for you to get what you want, for you to achieve success, you need expectation. Expectation is achieved much quicker by gratitude. And number 3, you have to be grateful for what you asked for but didn't get. Now, this is powerful, and I want to just perhaps dwell on this a little bit longer. You have to learn to be grateful for what you have asked for and you didn't receive. Disappointments often come as packaged deals. Most of the time we ask for things, we try things, we fail, and we give up. We are upset, we're angry, we're disappointed. We say, well, life is against us. We say that there is no God, if you believe in such. You say there's no deity somewhere in the sky or somewhere on earth. You say that, what is the point? I give up. This life is meaningless. Without recognizing that sometimes, although we cannot see ahead, that life in its infinite love and wisdom and knowledge and power protects us from that which we want, but that which will cause us more pain than joy. So disappointments come as package deals. If you were to see the true picture of what could have happened had you received what you wanted, then you might really be a little bit more understanding and even more grateful that what you asked for didn't come. So one of the key things to remember is this. Sometimes you're going to win in life and sometimes you're going to learn in life. I don't like to use the word lose, because lose means it's a negative way of saying something that you wanted you didn't get, and that means you're never going to get. Sometimes it's delayed for a reason. Sometimes it comes as a learning experience. Sometimes it comes as a disappointment. So what I call the best part of gratitude is having the ability to say, thank you. I asked for it. I worked hard for it. I sacrificed. I put in the labor. I put in the time. I put in the resources. I gave my best, but I didn't get it. But I'm thankful because infinite intelligence, love, God, whatever you want to call it, nature, you know more than I do, and you can see farther than I can. And therefore, I'm thankful that you've protected me from having something that I'm not deserving of just yet, or something that will bring me more pain than joy. And more than anything, I'm thankful to the fact that you've chosen that this is not the right time, and that in the right season, at the right time, is going to be mine. That is the most beautiful part of gratitude. Think about it this way. There is a season to sow, there is a season to reap. And you cannot do both in the same time or in the same season. You put seed in the soil, in the ground, you let it be. You water the soil, you let it be. In due season, the seed produces much fruit. If you go in between the seasons and dig up that seed and say, well, I haven't seen growth, then what you're saying is, I don't have enough faith in the laws of nature, and therefore I'm going to go and check for myself. What happens is, you cut short the whole process and you start again. So most people are impatient. The same way, a mother has a baby, a seed in her belly, and she needs 9 months for that baby to become, a beautiful little boy or beautiful little girl. If you had that baby halfway through the 9-month period, what you would have is a premature baby. And, research shows that if you have a child at month 3 or 4 or 5, the chances that that baby will survive is very low. The baby needs to stay in the womb where it can get all of his nourishment for the 9 months, so that when it comes out, it's whole, complete, and healthy. In the same way, success comes to you at the right time. You have to learn to be grateful for what you have, for what you hope to have, and for what you've asked for but didn't get.